So when you set out for this posting, what do you bring with you from Japan?
First of all, I brought my wife and daughter.
Good start. Welcome to Taste of Diplomacy, the place that savors the flavors of international relations. I'm your host, Michal Divon, and today we have a special guest, His Excellency Akio Isomata, the Ambassador of Japan to the UAE. Let's begin. So, Ambassador, thank you for joining us today on Taste of Diplomacy.
Thank you, Michal. It's so nice to have you here.
A special treat, and as the name suggests, we're going to talk bilateral relations. We're going to end with a culinary experience.
Yes.
But I want to start with your personal journey as someone who has been with the Foreign Ministry, a diplomat for 38 years now. What drew you to the diplomatic life?
I wanted to see the world, actually, to broaden my perspectives. Japan is a country surrounded by the sea. So it's easy for many Japanese people to not get in touch with any foreigners during the whole life. But I wanted to go outside to see the world. Now I'm in this beautiful country, the UAE. I love this country.
How would you describe the current state of bilateral relations between the UAE and Japan?
Well, let's say we just celebrated 50th year of diplomatic relations, anniversary diplomatic relations last year, and we are entering the new phase for the next half century. And let me say, our bilateral relationship was excellent in the past and is flourishing in the present and will be brighter in the future. And our relationship is going far beyond oil and gas.
Marking 50 years, it's a great milestone. How do you see the next 50 years?
Yes, let's say our last 50 years was excellent. Many Japanese companies located here, they have regional headquarters in Dubai, in the UAE, to cover all the MENA region. So they are trying to come up with good, business projects all the time. And it's, as I mentioned earlier, it's evolving into many different areas beyond oil and gas, like infrastructure. Mitsubishi Heavy Industry and the Mitsubishi Corporation constructed Dubai Metro 2009. That's infrastructure. Yeah. And of course, beyond conventional energy, fossil fuel energy, we are entering in the new phase of cooperation with the UAE for renewable energy and clean energy using ammonia and hydrogen too. And also food, retail, healthcare, ICT, digital, AI, many different areas Japanese companies are interested in.
So Japanese businesses see the UAE as a gateway to the region?
That is true. And the good thing about the UAE, doing business in the UAE is, we can cover the whole MENA region. And the UAE is a hub. But this characteristics of being hub of many things is expanding. Of course, it's a hub for business, it's a hub for trade, it's a hub for investment, but also transportation, and it's expanding because of the wise leadership of the UAE.
Japanese government incentivizing businesses to invest in the UAE? What
Yes.
kind of measures are they taking?
Yes, one of the prime examples, the most recent prime example is we have signed kind of MOU between the two governments earlier this year, at the beginning of this year, to bring in Japanese startup companies. Startup companies to have a kind of cooperation with Emirati investors to create new, business here in this country. Maybe they can go together to another country or to Africa. It's called the JUCAT, Japan-UAE Coordination Mechanism for Advanced Technology. And already around 20 companies, Japanese startup companies, are already on board.
And what role do cultural exchanges play?
Well, cultural exchange is very important for any bilateral relations. It's at the base of any bilateral relations, cultural exchange and people-to-people exchange. So as my mission here, I would like to focus more on cultural side and people-to-people exchange side too. With the assistance of Tokyo Metropolitan Government, we have already started the high school students exchange program beginning last year. Around 20 Japanese high school students from Tokyo visited Dubai and Abu Dhabi, and also the high school students from the UAE, Dubai and Abu Dhabi went to Japan to see Japan and to get together with Japanese high school students.
So when you set out for this posting, what do you bring with you from Japan?
Well, first of all, I brought my wife and daughter.
Good start.
Yes, and well, before coming to this country, I sought advice from my senior diplomats in Japan who were previously posted in this region, like former Japanese ambassador Saudi Arabia, to Israel, to the UAE. So I sought their advice to start with, and they all gave me good advice. One of which is very, struck me as very interesting. All these diplomats said, well, people are the same anywhere. So what is important is to meet as many Emiratis, to as many Arab people as possible, and try to, establish relationship from there. I'm not very sure whether I reached that level yet, but I'm trying.
So now, after speaking about cultural exchanges and people-to-people initiatives, we are reaching the culinary phase of our interview. So what is the best way to experience Japanese cuisine?
Please join me at the lunch table.
With pleasure.
So welcome to the lunch table, Mikal.
Thank you.
This is a kind of typical Japanese course food. For lunch, maybe. This is appetizer plate, and we have soup usually, and main dish, which is hamur today, and also we have sushi plate, of course.
Of course.
Japanese cuisine, we call it the Washoku, and the Washoku is registered as intangible cultural heritage in UNESCO 2013. There are several, reasons for Washoku to be registered as intangible cultural heritage. One thing is we use diversified ingredients, fresh from nature. And secondly, we attach great importance to the balance, so the diet will be healthy. And thirdly, we try to show kind of, changing seasons by food. So we usually use a lot of seasonal ingredients, seasonal food. That's why Japan was, the Washoku was registered as intangible cultural heritage in UNESCO.
And there will always be fish?
Yes, we eat more fish than meat. I think that's healthy part of Japanese cuisine. And by using these kind of food in this way, we can not only nurture our body, but also we can nurture our mind and spirits with cultural backgrounds. That's the essence of Japanese food, washoku. Now we can enjoy.
In Ambassador, before we dive into dessert, I just want to say thank you so much for having us today at the official residence and for showing us and having us experience a taste of Japan. And now all that's left is to enjoy the matcha cake.
I hope you enjoy the food, and I want to welcome you back again here very soon.
Thank you so much.